welcome to Sunshine Art and Drawing. Today I'm going to be doing a painting with tea. So I've taken 3 or 4 tea bags, I left them overnight to soak in some boiling water, and now I'm going to be using them to do different coloured tea washes and see how it turns out. So it's a bit of an experiment on my part. I'm not really planning anything here, and I know it's going to be a landscape scene, but that's about it. So I'm kind of letting the drips and the drabs of the tea kind of tell me what to paint. So there's going to be a lot of bits and pieces of drying in between because this tea water takes a really long time to dry for some reason, way longer than just regular water. I'm not sure why that is, and you might be able to hear in my voice it's a little bit croaky and I'm a little bit worse for wear. I'm just getting a late spring cold. It's very annoying, but I'm sound a lot worse than I am. I'm actually feeling pretty good. So now we're on to the next layer. So I'm adding a bit more of a darker tea each layer as I come forward and trying to sort of influence a few shapes of trees and things like that, but really not going any further than that. I really like how the tea kind of has like a pinky brown color to it. So it's a lot more different than the coffee that's a lot more of a dark kind of woody brown. This is much more of a kind of pinky sort of brown. It's really pretty. And I popped a candle there as well. I found this one in a dollar store, and it is bergamot and lavender. It smells beautiful. So definitely my tip, if you're looking for some candles, check out the dollar store and see if you can find some. Sometimes you can find a really pretty candle for $1. Really super handy, especially because I haven't been feeling 100%. The smell has been making me feel a little bit better. So you might not be able to see the different layers here as it dries, but it does become more apparent as I do more and more layers, especially doing the sky and that sort of thing. What I thought I might do here is I'll pop on some music and I'll come back at the end and kind of give you my final thoughts, just to kind of give my voice a bit of a break. But yeah, it's been a bit of a tough week for me. So this has been a really relaxing painting. So I'll see you at the end. So now I've done all of the layers of the beautiful tea washes. I'm going to grab a little piece of tape to do a bit of a stencil of how I'm going to make the sun behind the clouds kind of stand out. I'm also adding a few little bits of tea and stuff there to make it a bit darker so that when I put the yellow over the top it stands out a bit more. And then I'm using watercolor pencils to do all of these kind of outliney type of shapes. And my green watercolor pencil broke and I tried to resharpen it and it broke again. So I went and got my jar of colored pencils and I found some more colors. So some of the colors aren't 100% what I wanted them to be, but that's okay. It's an experiment. I wanted to see how it would turn out. So I did a bit of a wash with some greens there, and now I'm going to be using just a very, very fine pen to do some outlining of these clouds. I thought that would add a bit more sort of interest and stuff, especially because I'm going to be doing that little sun yellow, make it stand out a bit more. And just make sure it's very, very dry before you try and use ink on top of watercolor or tea washes, because it will run. Even though this pen it's a Uniball pen and it is waterproof, like as soon as it's dry you can paint straight over the top of it, but it will run if you try and draw in like wet water or in wet paint or something like that. So I'm adding just a little bit of colour and then watering it down using the tea wash or just plain water, and add a bit more colour. And I wanted to try and add some colour sections but also leave some of them kind of tea stained a little bit, just so you can see that lovely kind of brown come through. And an artist friend or a watercolour artist friend is that hairdryer. Oh my goodness, this takes so long to dry, and I'm not really sure whether it's just because the tea is like there's a lot of water in it, so I'm making it a lot wetter than I would if I was using watercolours. It's just really strange. And I'm using just a watercolour pencil in black to add a few more highlights and to give some detail to all those trees, and add a few extra trees here and there, just some smaller ones in green, and a few more washes of some watercolours. And deciding what I'm going to do with the front here, I decided to make those little kind of hill shapes houses, because I thought that would look really cute, adding a little bit of sort of humanness to this drawing right at the bottom there. And then I added a tiny little fence and used that really fine ink pen to draw in the lines. And for the little houses I used just a little bit more of that tea wash and kind of blended upwards. So there's my finished artwork. So there's those little houses looking super cute, and the little bit of tufts of smoke coming out the top of their chimneys. And then on this side you've got that little tiny fence, which I think turned out really, really cute. And a little sort of bush that's running behind there. It's supposed to look a bit like fields, I guess. And then yeah, that's the final product. So I hope you guys like this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!